Exciting times in Cleveland today. Cleveland, come on down to Cleveland town, everyone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a HustleNHoops team breakdown. Today, we'll be talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and how their young core, along with their new star player, are surprising everyone in the NBA. Now, let's start from the top. You got Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, your two-guard combo. They are absolutely killing it out here, just hooping, and, when both are healthy and both are on the court, not much you can do to stop that two-man game. And if you happen to stop one of them, the most exciting thing for me has been Donovan Mitchell's ability to seamlessly transition into the pick-and-roll game with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and Robin Lopez and Kevin Love. And it's been very difficult for teams to stop Donovan getting to his spots. Then you look at Evan Mobley, who's had a slight uptick in scoring, averaging 15, still bringing all the defensive things that we saw last year. And despite the offensive game not showing much creativity, I'm not too worried about it. I'm really not too worried about it. When you have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland on your offensive side, how much do you have to depend on Evan Mobley ISOs and paint touches? Not that much. Really not that much. Jared Allen, same thing. Except for, he obviously on the defensive end is the anchor. And when you're able to transition from running this huge lineup with these small guards to picking and choosing between the guards and your bigs. You have Kevin Love having a resurgence year, having a comeback year, bounce back year. And we're going to take a little deep dive into the stats now.
2 points ain't 2 points. That's a lot. 2 points is not 2 points. I'll explain it to you later, but
on the surface level, Donovan Mitchell is averaging 30 points per game. And he did come in and kind of do what we thought he would do, which would be taking over that secondary ball handler responsibilities. And you can question some of the plays that he makes and that he's always made. Some of the jump passes, but when you've got two dynamic scorers like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, you're going to have a lot of turnovers. And that's been something we've seen in the last couple games. That's what I want to talk about with Darius Garland. You look at these last couple of games, the last 5 games, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like 3 turnovers, 5 turnovers, 8 turnovers, 5 turnovers, 2 turnovers. That's, it is what it is. And you look at it, and versus Atlanta, you see 2 bad passes, 1 jump pass, 2 live dribble turnovers, just kind of, I wouldn't say sloppy, but maybe just not having as much intent with your drive or with the ball in his hands sometimes. But that partially is just Darius Garland's game. He does roam. And you do see times like versus Charlotte where he does have multiple drives without intention. And he ends up just kind of tossing the ball to the big that might be there and ends up in a turnover. He only really had 1 bad pass that I noticed in that Charlotte game. But again, doesn't really matter because he dropped 40. It's like his game takes advantage of the spacing of the NBA so much more than I think so many other guards are capable of, because between his quickness and his three-point shooting and his playmaking ability, Darius genuinely can be unguardable for whole games, whole quarters, just impossible to guard. And when you add Donovan Mitchell, who's coming in and doing the same things that he's always done, and being the playmaker that we thought he could be, surrounded by the proper talent. They're eighth in offense right now. That last year they were a top 10 defense. This year they're a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense so far. If they end the year top 15 in both, they're A high playoff seed, and B, probably going to the conference finals. Now, looking at the front court, like we said earlier, Evan Mobley is averaging 15 points per game. Again, it's not the craziest 15 points that you're going to see in the world, but it's 15 points, and it's definitely, I wouldn't say an improvement, but a needed level of output from a guy like Evan Mobley. 17% from three looks bad, but I mean, it's not like he shot many of them, so we wait and see. Jared Allen, obviously, is not going to score tons of points. A lot of it's going to be off lobs, deep post dump-ins, but the 80% from free throw is nice. Dean Wade has been an absolute sniper in the beginning of the season. Kevin Love has been tenacious on the boards and just in general. He has come in and given his all, which is nice. Very nice. And I didn't even mention Darius Garland. Chicken wrap, 50-piece wrap snacks, all that. With like 20-some in the fourth quarter alone. Donovan Mitchell. We talked earlier about the secondary ball handler stuff, and you look at the advanced stats, shouts out cleaning the glass and b-ball index for the statistics, but we were talking about him as a secondary ball handler, and you look at the advanced stats, 85th percentile in off-screen possessions per 75 possessions, 98th percentile in off-screen share percentage, 61st percentile in total ISOs per 75. However, he's in the 89th percentile in total ISO impact per 75, and the 92nd percentile in total ISO field goal percentage. So, Donovan is definitely getting a lot of opportunity. You look at the touches per game, he's in the 97th percentile, but he's not necessarily getting the same high. Well, he is getting the same high usage because he's the highest on the team. But it's not the same. It's not the exact same. Because you add Darius Garland in the mix. It's simple as that. And while Donovan doesn't have the ball in his hands constantly, he's involved in these scoring possessions more often than not, being in the 96th percentile in scoring possessions per 75. I look at these specific stats because, you want to gain an understanding, obviously, with what you watch and back that up with stats. And what I see, like I said earlier, is that this team has the potential to not only have the best backcourt in the NBA, but one of the best front courts in the NBA on the same team. And Darius Garland is capable of popping off for 50 and giving you elite playmaking and primary ball handler responsibility. His capability of controlling the floor is beyond most guards ever. I said that. And we've seen what Donovan Mitchell can do in the playoffs. We've seen it. We have absolutely watched Donovan turn a series on his own. Now, can you circulate? Can you maintain the other guys? Can you find competent pieces and players and definitive roles? Because championship teams have, among many other things, no ego. And this team is getting there. Between Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell, I genuinely believe that those guys have not only a great relationship, seemingly, especially between Darius and Donovan, but seem like true leaders. Seems like people actually follow Darius and Donovan. Now, how do I want to close out this episode? I'm really not sure. Realistically, I don't know. I just like talking about basketball. I just like talking about the teams that I enjoy watching. And I want us to enjoy basketball. So let's do that. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want. Let me know what you thought. Peace.